episode of our podcast. This is
the After Work Club.
And we are your host. I'm Mim.
And I'm Adam.
And today we've got a very, very special guest with us. We have the one, the only, Maz.
Or Lurkin Larry, as they call me, because I'm always lurking around the corner.
All right,
is that Logan Larry or Lurkin Larry?
Lurkin Larry.
All right,
Logan Larry.
All right, let's
Constantly underwater.
let's not bring the creep in.
Constantly lurking.
Oh, just gives me the shivers.
You used to say it was sexy. You know,
All right, let's not air out the dirty laundry. My goodness.
That smells pretty clean to me.
I'm lurking and I'm jerking.
Damn.
We're-
Every real quick.
I'm gonna need some gloves.
First episode in and we're already going there. Today we are going to be discussing a couple of things, but I think the first one we were going to dive straight into was share houses.
Yeah, let's talk about the podcast first, because
Oh yeah, true.
we haven't
We
really...
should do that.
This is an introduction to the podcast, because let's give a little bit of backstory. We've already recorded an episode which we can't use because some drunken idiots have stolen our podcast name.
And also, we just realized that name wasn't us.
No.
It wasn't us. So we've decided to change it, and this is why we've come up with the After Work Club. For some context, we've all worked within the hospitality industry.
And together.
And that's how we've all met. And I feel like it's always after work when you're debriefing after your awful shift or your awful day or just dealing with awful people in general. Love to have a yarn and have a vent, flesh out what the hell happened.
Push Maz off a stool.
Pushing Maz off stools.
Push me off my stool, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Stupid videos I used to make.
I knew that was going to get brought up too.
Shout
We'll
out.
have to give the people context for that, so it doesn't sound like I'm just a horrible person.
That's right. Ginger Patrick was there.
He was.
Shout out Patrick.
Shout out Big Pat.
We love Big Pat. He'll be in the country next week. Woo.
He's out of the country?
Yeah, he's living in Vietnam.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe he's got to jump on for a...
Yeah, we need to get him in. We could,
Yes.
that'll be a me and him reminiscing over security stories. Cause,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, we got into some shit.
But going backwards into what the purpose of this podcast is, we just wanted it to be a space where we can have an after work like discussion about what the hell's going on in our lives, what are some ways that we can overcome difficult and tricky situations, and also just having a good old catch up yarn.
Yeah.
You could call it after lurking instead of after
Maybe
lurking.
we can make a segment.
After lurking.
Maybe we can make a segment that's
That could
after
be a-
work
that could-
and
Could
That-
be after lurk.
That could be a Maz. That could be like a Maz only section where he
Yeah.
sits down and he talks about a moment in the week where he was lurking.
Where I was lurking. Yeah.
Oh
I wasn't
God,
lurking,
are we
I
gonna?
was lurking.
Is this gonna like bring out all the creeps?
Yeah.
Depends on your definition of creep, because creep can be subjective.
I mean,
Wow.
that's very
Got
true.
Creepy housemates, so
I think
Well,
we
that leads into
Yeah.
our first topic, actually.
creepy share houses.
just before we get into the whole creepy share houses, I think we should also make it very clear that the weird sounds and heavy breathing in the background is not in fact any of us, but it is a cute and small dog that we have here.
Yeah, I'm doing a bit of social services and looking after a friend's dog, so a little community service.
Yeah, Mio's adorable, but she just breathes really heavily.
He's got a smush face.
Yeah, she's got a little smush face.
You can't help it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got it.
She knows we're talking about her.
No.
But moving on to our first topic of the day is share houses, and we just thought that what a better way to start this podcast and talk about share houses, because that's how Maz and I met. And for our new listeners that don't actually know us, Maz is my fiance. We've been together for...
Fiance.
Fiance. I know. It's really weird saying that. fiance.
You guys have been engaged since the end of last year or start of last year?
It's actually coming up to nearly a year. So
Ooh, can't be that fresh then.
28th of March last year.
Also, shout out to Maz. Happy birthday for the other day, mate.
Oh yeah, leap year, baby.
Leap year,
I don't
baby.
even get a birthday,
You don't get a
so-
birthday. No birthday for you.
Yeah.
Mate, you know what? That makes it better because you can claim any day in that week period
Yeah,
as the day when you're like, yeah, okay, let's get drunk.
that's it. I had it twice. I had 2 birthdays.
Yeah.
Exactly. And no one can get mad.
Yeah.
Didn't you have 3? Because then, like, I bought tickets to Ice Cube. That was his birthday present for me. So we went and watched Ice Cube last weekend. So you got like another day of celebrating.
day, yeah.
So you got 3 days. I guess that kind of makes up for not having a birthday every year.
Yeah, you got to see Ice Cube.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was unreal as well.
That was
That's
awesome.
rad.
He like played all his best songs as well.
Yep. It was a great gig. Great gig.
There's a lot of great gigs going on through Melbourne at the moment. A lot.
I know. I'm so stoked that we live in such a cool city that has.
Is
great
allowed to have
music.
live music, unlike Adelaide.
Yeah. Yeah.
They seem to be
They can't have live music.
they can,
it's
but there's a lot of
dwindling.
permits and rules and stuff
Far out.
so a lot of touring artists avoid it.
So is that why Dom Dollar played at a golf
Yep.
thing?
It's so close to Melbourne though as well. You may as well not go to Adelaide. But that rumour that Eminem was meant to be playing in Adelaide at some Super Bowl event that they
Oh,
were having there.
poor
Why would you go to
Adelaide.
Just come straight to Melbourne.
Oh, but Adelaide's got other things
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, they have a beach you can drive on.
Do they?
Yeah.
I've never been to Adelaide.
My
in all
brother lives
fairness.
there.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so I've been over there once, and yeah, they've got a beach they can drive on. They've got the zoo. They've got a really cool racetrack over there called the Bend,
Yeah.
and that has a go-karting track.
lots of wine.
Okay, so this is the opposite of like what I'd want to go there for. I want to go there for the art. I want to go to the gallery there, and I want to go drink some wine.
Mim, we've spoken about go-karting.
I know.
First corner, someone cuts you off. Fernando Alonso comes out, and the next thing you know, she's pitting people into the tires. I'm looking at you, Maz. You'll be the first person she goes after.
I'm trying to get top lap. Fastest speed.
I'm too driving Miss Daisy.
Competitive.
Until someone pisses you off.
Yeah. Yes.
And that happens a lot on a go-kart track.
Yeah, but you
No
know what?
indicators.
you know-
It's like driving a Harley. You just beep.
Yeah, it
You don't-
scares me.
No, just flip them
Yeah.
off, yeah.
But also, like, I start gripping onto the steering wheel too hard that like I start hurting myself.
Yeah, well, maybe don't do that.
I get scared.
Don't be scared.
I can't help it.
Just
Yeah.
throw yourself in the next corner. You'll be fine.
You just
Oh
look straight.
god. All right, we're segueing. We're doing it already.
Yeah.
It's like a couple minutes in and we're already segued. We've got to start our main topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Share houses.
All right.
When did you first go into a share house? Let's start with you, Adam.
So my share house experience. I was in and out of share houses through my 20s, particularly after my early 20s and stuff like that. So once I got a little bit of freedom, I started living in share houses. But I always knew the people I was moving in with. It was only in Melbourne that I got pushed out of my comfort zone. So I moved to Melbourne in 2011.
Where from?
Far North Queensland, which was which was recently underwater.
Yeah.
Currently isn't anymore.
That's good.
Yeah, everyone's fine up there.
Thank goodness.
It's just the imports that were whinging about that.
Yeah.
But so I moved down in 2011 from Townsville, and for the first couple of years, I lived in student accommodation because I was studying my audio production, which is why I host the podcast.
Yes.
In the technological sense. So, but after that, I got convinced by a friend to move in with him, and they were in a share house. So there was 4 of us in the share house, and yeah, that was like my first sort of taste in it. And then I moved into what was only described as the biggest nightmare I've ever had in my life. So lease ran out on that. They didn't want to renew. They wanted to move out because similar to your story, these
Yes.
2 of them started dating. They
Yeah.
wanted to start their own thing. So they left, and then it was up to us to sort of pick up the pieces. So I moved in with, excuse the barking, but I moved in with someone who ended up being a strong drug addict. So we're talking, what's the artificial marijuana?
Oh.
Yeah, so he was on that.
Oh, that's
messes you up, eh?
bad.
I woke up one night. Now he was living in his parents' house, which is why I moved in to help sort of do that. The
Yeah.
hope was, because I was working, because I was clean. I'm a clean liver. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't touch any of that stuff. The hope was I could help clean him up a little bit when I moved in there. And
how old were you at this time?
27.
That's a lot of responsibility even for a 27-year-old.
27, 28, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, because of my background,
Yeah.
I've got a very no-nonsense attitude when it comes to that sort of stuff. But I have to draw lines,
Yeah.
and a line was crossed in that house. So one night I went to bed. I woke up at like 2 a.m. Dude was standing over at the end of my bed with a shotgun.
What?
It's like cheap crack. It's like,
Yeah, and he said that I was apparently bringing demons into the house because I listened to metal music. So I
That almost sounds like it's crossing into, mental health boundaries as
Yeah.
well, mixture with
that stuff,
obviously
really
the
affects you
drugs.
so bad.
Yeah, so I pulled the plug on that. I got myself out of there. It took me about 2 weeks, and then I moved into Altona, which is where I was when you guys moved to Altona.
Yeah, hectic. It's been
It was a while ago now.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys have been in that house for a long time.
We really have.
Yeah. Everyone moves and we're still there.
I know, but it's nice. It's nice being in the same place. I think we're approaching on 8 years. But before Maz and I lived in this place, we were in a share house, and I think I should probably give some context how we even got to this share house. I mean, I had moved out of home when I was, I think, 19, almost 20, but I did the whole moving out of home in a dumb way, and I sort of just went on a sleepover at my bestie's place and just didn't come home for 3 months. I had no reason really to leave my...
Was that dumb though, or was it the best way? Because
I
then
don't
there's no
know.
real financial commitment. You don't have to worry about bonds or...
Look,
exactly.
it was
No
sort
bills.
of like... It was two ways, really. Like, I look back on it now and... there's things that I regret in the sense that I wish that I had just stayed home for an extra year or two, because I could have financially
gone a bit further.
just gotten myself up like a little bit better instead of just rushing into it. But I was just in a party mood. Like, I was working in a bar. I was finishing late. I didn't want my mum or my dad like stressing about what time I was getting home anymore. Like, mum was still staying up waiting for me to get home, which is adorable. And like, shut up, mum.
Yeah.
Bless ya,
You
love ya.
12.
But no, she was just worried, because I think around that time is when the whole thing with Jill Ma had happened as well. So there was that heightened, it was scary.
Yeah, but this is where, and I like as a parent now, you have to have a certain level. Like, there's obviously going to be a certain level of concern, but you also have to have a certain level of trust.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you have to trust that, especially in your situation, if you're going out and you're out late, you've got protections and stuff in place. You've got guys that are there that can make sure you get home.
I eventually had like some of my workmates, walk me to tram stops or to cabs or whatever when I finished work, and it was all fine.
The cabs.
Yeah, the cabs,
line.
the cab line at Crown,
Oh my god.
which is non-existent pretty
Wait
much
for a
now.
cab outside
'Cause-
Flinders.
You're better off ordering an Uber now.
Yeah, totally. But this was back when Uber didn't exist and stuff, and we were getting cabs everywhere. But yeah, I pretty much moved into my bestie at the time. I moved into his place, and it was like a 1-bedroom. And I think I was sleeping on a couch essentially for 3 months. And then we decided to get our own place. And we got this like 2-bedroom apartment in the city. And it sucked. It sucked. We had like crackheads living next door to us. Strip clubs were across the street. Like, it was on King Street.
Is
Like,
that how
it
you
was-
met Maz?
No.
Why you look around the corner?
But yeah, we found out later that like our living situations at that time, we were literally a block away from each other.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
and we both were working for the same umbrella of people. So the bars that we worked at,
which Adam was security
for, they had 5 venues, and they would do their staff parties, like Christmas parties and stuff, and have all of the venues go to the one staff party. And we found out much later that we'd actually been going to the same staff party for like 3 years, and we hadn't run into each other at it. So
to be fair, it was a very large bar.
It was.
There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There was a lot of staff, and I think we had some mutual friends that knew both of us, but yeah, we'd never really formally met properly. But then Maz moved to my bar, and I think by this point I had moved in and out of multiple share houses and had multiple different flatmates, and I think I was temporarily staying at my mum's place again while I was trying to find a place.
I just come back from Europe and I was sleeping on the couch somewhere.
That's a subtle flex.
Yeah. Right. I just came back from Europe. Just gallivanting around Europe for 6 months.
Came back broke, and I was like, rang Frodo. I was like, I need a place to stay. He's like, oh shit.
Oh shit, neck minute.
Ended up sleeping on the couch, and
so you were sleeping on.
Then I started sleeping in his bedroom.
So you was. Oh.
Yeah. He had
his bed on the floor, and then my mattress was on the floor next to him.
Oh, it was like a big slumber party at your besties.
Pretty much was. We were roomies, you know.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
So you were at your bestie's place. I was back at my mum's place. And we were once again around the corner from each other. And I think by this point, we've both been working at the same bar. We'd become friends.
But like where I was living, you actually lived up the road again.
I know.
From where I was.
Yeah. So
that's not the universe giving you guys a sign.
Literally, it was just inching us closer and closer together.
We were like walking to work together.
What do I have
Yeah, we were like sharing cabs home because we were going to the same neck of the woods after work and stuff. So, and then we'd catch up and sometimes have brunch before we went for our shifts. And
I was just low key trying to get laid, but like.
I was just
that hasn't changed.
I was just friend zoning you so hard, so that was,
well in the friend zone.
I was just friend zoning. I was just skating around on my little skateboard, and you were like, "Oh,
friendly,
let's go skating."
Lurk.
I was just lurking in the back. Like sending text messages at like midnight, like
you were.
Remember those like first school relationships you had, and like you're always texting each other.
MSN, mate.
Yeah.
MSN.
But in some respects, we sort of skipped all that.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening? Me and my bestie Jem, shout out Jem if you're listening.
Shout out Jem.
Jem and I had been talking for years about moving into the same place together, and we had originally wanted our mate Will to move in, but I think Will was studying at the time and he had some early morning classes and he couldn't commit to living west side because we wanted to live Footscray because Footscray at the time was really cheap to live. And we'd found like a place that was like a 3-bedroom, absolute shithole, but desperate times called for desperate measures.
And like I understand that sort of mentality because you're just like, I need to get something. I can make do.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just need some space again. I need something to call my own, and like I love being at home with my family and stuff, and it's great. Mum cooks dinner, does washing.
Oh yeah, Mim is Spanish as well, so she has amazing food in her house.
Yeah. My mum makes great food. Great food. She's an awesome cook. But, you just reach that point where you just need your space to be your own person as an adult. And, I think Jem was the one that had made the suggestion at work that, why doesn't Maz move in with us?
Yeah, because I needed to get out of his bedroom. Frodo's bedroom.
I think I remember this period because we sort of spoke about it when you were making the hot dogs.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a time.
And you're like, I need to get out of I need somewhere to go, man. I'm sick. I can't live like this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'd asked Maz, like, we found a place. How do you feel about living with us? And he was like, absolutely. And what ended up happening is
Have you
that
got the keys yet? Let's go.
yeah, we moved into this house, this 3-bedroom house, carpet in the kitchen, like, not joking, like,
It was an old woman's refuge
yes.
for like, yeah.
So I think it was
Old
used.
being emphasized in this statement.
Or like,
Yeah, they were building a new one a couple of
yeah,
years
there was
up.
there's a new one being built down the road, but like, no carpet matched in the house. We had like the classic, landlord special where everything was just painted really roughly. We had the fireplaces falling off the walls,
There was a menu on the cupboard. It was like soup, 60 cents, toasted sandwiches,
Sandwiches like $1, and like it was just part of the kitchen. Like that, just it was. Yeah, it is what it is. But
and that's what set up your food truck business, mate.
That's where the idea of the food truck business came from. It was a coffee cart, chit chat bang. That's what I wanted to call it.
Oh, that's another story for another time.
That's something for the lurking file.
But yeah, we pretty much were roomies for I think 4 weeks, and then we sort of started dating after that.
How did that, like, the faux pas in a social, like in a share house is you never date your flatmates.
Yeah, I think it happened very organically, but also I was very delulu.
We need to get Maz a t-shirt. I broke out of the friend zone.
He did. And
Fuck, I had to put in some work.
Oh.
This was going on for months. Like,
yeah.
ages. I put
That's
a lot
why
of
you need the
background work into it.
This is why you need the t-shirt, man.
I still
Yeah.
have this picture on my Instagram, and it's a picture of a bottle of wine on my bedside table, and a little
Classy.
glass with some hand-picked flowers from our yard.
Oh.
And what have I captioned it? What a nice housemate.
Oh, yeah. Rough, eh?
Oh.
I remember me and Frodo went to the Gold Coast. We booked
That's
a
a
trip to the
kick
Gold
to the
Coast.
nads.
I know.
And like, I kissed you at the front door or something, and he was like, we got in the Uber, and he's like, what the fuck was that about? And I was like, I don't know.
Adult things, mate. Adult things. You'll learn
Yeah.
about it when you grow up.
Well, I have no idea, man. It just happened.
I mean, you were the one that made the first move anyway. We were having some vinos on the couch, and like, you just
Is that a
went in.
euphemism?
that was
No.
the bottle of wine I brought.
Yeah, he bought me a bottle of wine, and we were drinking the said bottle of wine,
Yeah.
and then he gave me a good old kiss on the couch, and the rest is history. But I would like to emphasize that this was very PG-13 for a good month, because it is risky territory, because we live together and because we work together as well.
There's a lot of
There was a lot going against it.
We didn't talk for a few days after that.
Yeah, it was, but it was kind of funny because like
Yeah.
I needed some clarification on what the hell was going on.
So when you were seeking out the clarification,
Mm.
who did you speak to?
Him. I made sure I cornered him in a place at work where he couldn't escape.
We were doing functions together. So we had to be like
Stuck in this
we
one
were
bar
stuck
and you weren't allowed to
still
move.
working together, and then there was this weird
Why do I have
Like,
this picture of Mim?
silence of like what actually fucking happened the other night. Like,
Yeah.
So,
We need to talk about this.
So in that time frame between when you cornered him
Yeah.
and we'll call it the incident,
Yes.
there was no, like, you didn't talk about it with anyone else?
I had spoken to Jem, like her being my bestie, and also the other person in our house.
I would love to have been a fly on the wall for that
Yeah.
Oh
conversation.
yeah, but like,
I can remember just the awkwardness
I mean,
of the conversation.
she was just like, "Are you a fucking idiot?" To put it bluntly.
Yeah, that's the exact response I'd expect, because you'd be like, I'm ready to go deep with this, and she'd turn around and go, are you fucking idiot?
Oh no, I was the opposite.
Really?
I was actually like, do I need to nip this in the bud before like?
So you're looking to dismiss it? Kind of?
Yeah,
Do I need to
yeah.
cancel it?
Yeah, I was like,
No more lurking, Larry.
no more lurking Larry for you. No, I was very like,
Thank God Melbourne would be safe.
I was just on edge because it was just risky being my housemate, and we had a good thing between the three of us. We had a great dynamic, and I didn't want...
Yeah, we had separate rooms.
Yeah.
What tipped the scales then?
I think it was one of those, like, if you don't try, you'll never know sort of things.
Yeah.
It all happens.
And how often do you get to ask yourself that question as well?
Well, that's it. Not a lot. And I'm thankful that I did listen to people like Jem, because I did have other people that I'd talked to about this that said, nah, you gotta...
I thought you were about to say you had other
you
people
gotta...
lined up after
No.
Yeah, I had to choose between like you and this other
No, because I think
I
just...
hate those situations. And he's like, oh, fuck my life.
No, I think it was... Call it fate or call it the universe or whatever. But like I had said to myself, I think before...
Throw away that little dirty black book, eh?
You have
Burn
no
that
idea.
shit.
Yeah.
Burn it.
No,
Wait
I'd
for
said
it.
that I
Wait
didn't
for
want to
it.
date after, like, before I'd met Maz. So I was very adamant about, like, just living my best life single for a bit.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, having dated on and off in my early 20s especially, that's when, like, while you're finding yourself, because obviously your teens and stuff is so chaotic, you got your school crap,
Yeah.
then you got after school, you got to figure out what you want to do job-wise.
Yeah.
When you're in your early 20s and you're trying to figure shit out, is when you need to figure out if you can do this with the person in your life.
Well, that's exactly it. And I hear this a lot more now about how people are saying that your 20s are actually your shittest years.
Oh,
Sorry to those people that are in their 20s,
Not
but
sorry. Deal with it.
deal with it.
Yeah. You got a lot till fucking
But-
go, mate.
They aren't what they're cracked up to be, because it is that they are those 10 years of you figuring shit out and figuring out what your likes and what your dislikes are and where you want to go in life, and it changes all the bloody time. Like, I swear it was like every 2 years something new
You've got
was
your social
happening.
changes, you've got your emotional changes, you've got your financial changes.
You got career changes,
you've
like
there's so
everything. Like, there's just so much going on. But so the fact that we went for this relationship is crazy.
The fact that you're still in it
That
Yeah.
is, yeah.
is even crazier.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Happened very quickly.
It happened quickly, and it was, you know, organic in that sense. Like, there was no pressure. There was no, like, oh, we need to go out on a date and we need to text each other and, like, am I texting too much or whatever? It was just like you woke up and you saw them. They were there.
Yeah, and it's weird because, like, when you started that relationship, you were already living together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is a very unorthodox way to begin a relationship.
This is 100% the exception to the rule. Like, we are that exception to the rule, because I think in most circumstances, if this happened, it would go tits up pretty badly.
Yeah.
And
We're
I
like, let's save money on rent. Let's move into the same room.
I mean, I was very anxious when you said
Yeah.
that to me, because we had only been dating for 3-4 months.
Yes, but to sort of counter that a little bit, and this is me putting on my psychologist hat,
Yes.
you'd already vetted him
Yeah.
extensively.
I already put in a lot of work. Like, you know.
Okay, look, we know that. You've mentioned that.
You've made it clear.
We're
Yeah.
going to acknowledge that, yes, the groundwork that you put in was substantial
Yeah.
and plentiful.
I was like, now I'm going to save some money.
But, yeah, you had already vetted him.
Yeah.
You'd vetted him with your peers, which is often the biggest hurdle a relationship will go through.
Yeah.
I've just been watching Love is Blind.
Oh, is it? I haven't watched that show.
We could turn this into a podcast. But
Watching show.
but it's one of those things where a lot of the relationships fail at the point when the social circle gets involved.
Yeah.
And this comes back to something, and I'm probably going to get flagged for referencing our unreleased episode, but that's something we talked about, how in a relationship a partner needs to like enhance the situation, not detract from it.
Oh, absolutely.
And what you had done, because you'd done all that vetting and stuff, Maz was able to seamlessly integrate into your life.
And I think it also just helped because of the mutual friends that we had as well. So, like, our inner circles already sort of knew of or knew each other. So, like, that was a really easy thing for us to
Yeah.
merge together, and everyone got along really well, and there was no issues in that front. But I should mention that Jem had said to me, this is her quote, "Listen to your heart when he's calling for you." That's what she said to me when I told her about Maz. And I was like, what?
I kind of
What?
get it to a certain extent, but I'd be curious from Maz's standpoint now, what was your feeling going through that process, particularly with what you're hearing externally from your friends and stuff?
I just want to get laid.
Yeah.
Well,
they
look, yes, okay. It's fairly well established that the males were generally, we don't fixate on the emotional stuff. That lovey-dovey feeling crap is not something that is generally discussed. But there's still often conversations being had, and
I
obviously,
kind of just shunned it off. Really, I was just like,
did you have people talking against it?
nah. They were just like,
Cool.
just
Yeah,
what's
okay.
going on? Like, I don't really talk about my relationships with people. Like, I'm pretty closed with like relationship talk. It's probably the most I've ever talked about it, really. But
Is there a reason for that, Maz?
I don't know. I don't need to tell everyone like who I'm dating or like. I just never felt the need to, really. But everyone knows now. We've been together 10 years, so like everyone knows about our fucking
Yeah.
relationship.
For some reason, you put a ring on her finger, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'd never really
Yeah.
went up to the boys and like, I just got laid last night, Like,
No, I see.
It was
And
just
say,
like-
like, I think that's why we also started talking, because like when you get around, especially guys, we do like an evaluation phase when we you see someone new before you talk to someone. You sit there and you'll go, yeah, I don't know if I like the vibe this guy's giving off.
yeah.
And then you're like, you'll talk to him and you're like, yeah, okay, that's like he's an associate or someone that I'll talk to at work, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But then you've got the guys that you're like, hey, he can actually hold a conversation. We have some shared values. We have this, we have that. Cool. Let's go have a beer or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you boys are different. Us girls, we like to get into the details.
Sip on wine and sing,
Yeah.
listen to your
Yeah.
heart.
What? So everyone says like,
Ugh, so cheesy.
listen to your gut. I've got IBS. If I listen to my gut, fuck, I'm shitting myself,
No.
Yes.
No. Oh dear. But yeah, it was one of those things, like it was very well winded and quick. And I mean, I think 3-4 months in, you were like, oh, let's go to New Zealand.
Yeah,
Let's
we
go to
did,
New Zealand. My mate's getting married. Let's go to New Zealand. You can meet my family and my friends. Like, oh,
That's
okay.
a heavy situation.
Right.
Yeah, we went to Bali after New Zealand too. It was just
Yeah.
Like, it was like, what happened? I don't know. And this is where we came up with the thing. It was like, oh,
Maybe we should move in
we should
together.
move in together, save some money.
Move into the same room. And I still remember to this day, like the anxiety feeling I had when you were like, let's just move into the same room. Because
Really?
yeah, because that was really just like closing a chapter. Like I knew that was the end of my quote unquote single life. That was done.
We were sharing a bed like
Wow.
every
Yeah.
night. And her bed's tiny as well.
Yeah.
She's really short.
So you had that foresight at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, I was just like, this is
Maz
it.
is just like, I'm gonna get laid every night.
No, I
smoke ciggies in bed and drink coffee.
Oh my god, what a time! That was, you can tell that was a 2015
Yeah,
I was gonna say
era.
that was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
That was a different time.
it was a different time, but
there was still hope in the world at that point.
I just felt so anxious about it, and I remember,
Really?
and I remember like when I was packing up the stuff to move into your room, like
because it wasn't like we only just set our rooms up.
yeah.
We're like
And I wasn't spending
Yeah.
any time in my room anyway. I think I'd spent like that first month, when we'd first moved into the place, that was my room. But then like when we started hanging out, and mind you, I want to really emphasize this PG-13-ness.
Is that because Mim's mum is going to be listening?
No, because that's actually just the truth. Like, it was very PG because it was just weird territory. So, like, when we were staying in each other's rooms, like, there was no hanky-panky happening.
Insert 70s porn theme.
But yeah, it was just, I remember feeling a bit like, not sad, but just like understanding that was the end of like that chapter of my life.
That actually amazes me that you had that foresight.
Yeah.
Because most females in that situation be like, oh, let's see where this goes kind of deal. Not anticipating that much of a drastic change.
It's like a closure.
I think I'd just dated so many dipshits by that point that
Maz is a cool dude.
I knew that he was different, and you know, I'm a firm believer in like the law of attraction and all that woo woo stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that I manifested him.
Oh.
Because he ticks all of the boxes of like all the guys that I dated and, you know, been out with and stuff. They were all lacking the qualities that Maz has.
It's in the diary. Do you have a diary?
Nah.
Oh. Did you ever write like a high school
I used to, but I stopped
dating
because...
journal?
Not so much dating, because in high school I was a nerd.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said this to a friend of mine recently, actually. Because she's like, oh, you know, in high school I was crushing on all the guys, like idiot, like sports players and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I was crushing books and algebraic equations.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like my own personal hell.
No, but it's like, it set me up for future
True.
stuff. And like, I understand the world better now because I understand those.
But that's your interest too, so like...
Yeah. And that's it. And it's like, same thing like with geology
Yeah.
and meteorology and stuff. Like, we sort of touched on that.
Yeah,
before.
totally.
But
Yeah.
like, yeah, I study those things because it interests me. It keeps the mind fresh and young.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, I love him.
It's Melbourne's Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with him. But
pick his brain about it. Like, he's so smart.
yeah, he's also engaging. Like, there's not many people that work in that field that have a personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love listening to his stuff when you want to go to sleep.
Yes. Now,
nice.
speaking of personality,
Yes.
Maz.
Oh, no.
Let's have a background of who Maz is.
Yeah.
Who is Maz?
Who is Maz?
Who is Maz?
Well, I was never Maz.
Why is Maz?
How did we come up with Maz?
Maz.
Go into the origins of Maz.
So seeing as we have a manifestation story,
Yeah.
how did Maz manifest?
Maz manifested. Oh, it's a long story, really. I got really drunk one night and I thought I'd book a one-way ticket to Australia. And
From where, for context?
from New Zealand. So I'm from New Zealand originally.
Kia ora, bro.
I've been here 12 years now. But yeah, I booked that one-way ticket and ended up on the Gold Coast. Too hot, hated that. Booked another ticket to Melbourne with my last $90, and then
Christ, that's a good flight.
moved to Melbourne. Spent my last $50 at shout out Adriani at her birthday party, and then I ended up with a job at Riverland the next day cooking sausages on an outdoor barbecue.
And that's how I met Maz.
And then so my original name's Mario, and then they called me Muzza or Muzzler, the Muzzler, and then.
Good grief, that's so fully Australian.
Yeah.
Right.
You're probably like, what the fuck is this?
I'm glad we don't call you that.
And then it was Maz.
Mazla.
Now it's Maz, and now we're Mim and Maz.
You need to get the muzzler on your mud flaps for your
car. On my big
That's terrible.
Ford F-150.
Yeah,
Like-
straight up personalised plate, the Mazla.
I ain't giving up my truck. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then that's just progressed from there.
So
Maz to Maz to...
So when you started your job in Riverland, how long have you been in Melbourne for? Like a couple of weeks?
Nah, I was literally in Melbourne. I reckon it was a week and a half. And then I was pretty much just job searching every day, dropping CVs off because I had nothing. I had no money. I was living at my brother's house on the couch. in
There
South
seems to be a
Melbourne.
common theme here, Maz.
Yeah, like
Maz on the couch.
Yeah.
The whole time I was at Riverland, I lived on people's couches, and shout out to them for letting me live on their couches. Because I never wanted to sign a lease. Like, I didn't want to have that security of being stuck somewhere. All I had was a bag.
And then we forced you to sign leases
And
with
that
us.
Footscray was the first lease I ever signed
In Victoria?
in Victoria.
Jeez.
So I was kind of
And
like
that's years, man.
shitting myself that we won't get the place because I had nothing. I had no background of a history of.
But I think it
rental.
was
If it
because
was you by yourself, that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
But because you had two other people with you, they would have gone off their history.
yeah. And Jem and I at that point had enough history of share houses under our belt, so that
Yeah,
that
kinda
probably
I was
helped.
just- and because how long were we there? Like
2 years.
2 years, which helped us get into our place now,
Yeah.
and like. Yeah,
And now we've been there for nearly 8
for
years or
8
something.
years, Yeah. So.
Well, the thing is, like, you guys have kind of taken over that spot as well,
Yeah.
family-wise.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's the commune.
Yeah, we're so.
That's a long story.
Well,
We-
the condensed version of it is that our lovely landlord is our next door neighbor, and we live in a unit, and there's a unit at the front, and during COVID times, the previous tenants had moved out, and my sister and her partner were looking for a new place, and we said, why don't you guys move in next door to us over COVID? Because, you know, Melbourne was going in and out of bloody lockdowns by that point. So it'd be nice to have some people we could actually,
Stare at each other through windows.
yeah, or like at least, you know, socialize with, because we were 2 steps away from each other's, you know, front and back door and all the rest of it.
Technically, you're not leaving the property line.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, we have the same address. It was just Unit 1 and Unit 2. So, like, a loophole there, I guess. But they had moved in. And then during that year that they lived there, they got gorgeous black lab Jupiter. But unfortunately, as labs do, he grew a little bit too big for their courtyard. And they were...
Is that similar size to your courtyard?
It's probably smaller.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a bit
Just a bit
smaller.
more wider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were facing the chance that they were going to have to move away, and they were quite sad about it. And it just so happened that a property directly behind our unit had popped up for sale, and our landlord's son purchased the property because they're very they're Greek, so family orientated. They didn't want our family to move away, so they bought the property, which had a huge backyard. So now my sister and her partner live in the house directly behind us, and then my cousin from New South Wales, who wants to pursue art, and you know what better place than Melbourne, she moved down and she moved into the unit in front. So now we've got the commune live in it's very everybody loves Raymond.
The whole of your family.
I was going to say,
Yes.
Maz is the odd one out here.
Yeah. I get shafted.
Shafted.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, well, see, Mim said in our last episode that you guys, like, you've been accepted by her family more so than she has.
Yeah.
I am the favourite child, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's the same in my family. Like, everyone loves her, you know?
Oh, good old Opal.
Yeah.
Maz's
Shout out Oprah.
Maz's granddad loves me. I love
course.
him too.
Who
He's the
doesn't love
best.
Mim?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it.
Thanks, guys. But yeah, so we've got a weird little family dynamic, but keeps things interesting.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, and this is something, because especially after our last episode, something that I thought about is, like, you need a close-knit social circle, particularly in a community sense, like where you're living,
Yeah.
because that helps give you a good grounding and stuff to build on.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
That's something I don't have here. Because,
Yeah.
like, I talk to my neighbours to a certain extent, but not really.
Yeah.
We kind
Yeah.
of keep to ourselves. So it just makes it hard. Like, you know, if you need some help with something, like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can go next door. You can go to the unit.
Yeah.
It's so handy. And like when our beautiful ragdoll Jasper was still alive, we unfortunately had to put him down because he had cancer. June last year, so it was very sad.
This was in the period of pet deaths that everyone
Yeah,
seemed to be losing their-
everyone was going through it. Yeah.
I came out of it unscathed with this little fellow.
Oh, you're lucky
Yeah.
because it was just awful. But like when we had Jasper and like, you know, we would go away even just for a weekend or something, you know, it was so easy, at least knowing that we had people on either side of our house that could quickly pop in and even just hang out with him. I think when we went to New Zealand last year and we were gone for like just under a month, I think Tori and Moo, that's my sister and her partner, they were pretty much at our place every day, every night, and they were just cooking dinner and watching TV and stuff at our joint just to like give him
use up your bandwidth.
well yeah
Exactly.
well yeah.
Yeah.
But at least like it was
He
keeping-
was so sick then, though.
keeping some normality for him. But yeah, he was pretty ill by that point, and I think we sort of knew that when we got home, like
Decisions had to be made.
decisions
Yeah,
were going to need to
100%,
be
yeah.
made. But that was hard, but it was great in that sense. And I mean, we do the same for their beautiful pup Jupiter, you know, pop over the fence and give him some love and throw the ball and give him some kibble or whatever, or take him for a walk if need be. So yeah, like it's super handy having that part of having family close by and just people you can rely on.
We're the mum and dad. We're doof mum and dad
Yeah,
of the community.
yeah.
We've
So-
got our shit together.
Yeah, we're the ones with our shit together. So like,
And Matt's just like, how the fuck did we wind up here?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
I went from sleeping on couches to bloody being mum and dad to everyone.
yeah. So like we try and organize things. So for example, December when Dom Dollar was here, and we all love Dom, Daddy Dom. Shout out Daddy Dom, love him. And we were going to his gig, and we just knew that we were all going to get on it and get lit that night, and we just knew that the next day was not going to be
It's not a day to be remembered.
it's not a day to be
Yeah.
socializing. So we had purposely the day of the gig, we'd gone grocery shopping. So we'd sorted ourselves out with, you know, Gatorades. We got the bacon and eggs and the hash browns and like everything you can imagine we had thought of, so that no one needed to order Uber Eats and spend more ridiculous money. No one needed to leave the house to go places. No one needed to do any of it, and we just had everything sorted. We had breakfast stuff, we had dinner stuff, we had all the things you needed. So, doof mum and dad.
Yeah. Thing is, though, like, it requires some organization to have that kind of like foresight to, you know,
Yeah.
facilitate that kind of situation. I found, particularly as I've gotten older, you can sort of know. And you're like, okay, this is the event. This is what is probably going to happen.
Yes.
This is how I'm going to deal with it the following
Yes.
day.
Yes.
I was talking about it with some of the other. It's like life stages, right? Like, you know, once you leave your 20s, you hit your 30s, and it's like 33, 35. A lot starts changing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's also like physiological as well.
Yeah.
Like, you think about how you used to drink in your early 20s and stuff.
I could
Yeah.
never.
Now you look at that kind of quantity of alcohol, and you're like, I'd rather shoot myself.
I
Yeah,
would
that's gonna
rather
fuck me
shoot
up. Like-
myself. Yeah,
I
legit.
really don't want to feel that pain tomorrow.
No. It's just not worth it. And it
Yeah.
feels like it takes like 2 days to recover. Like, I'm so happy having 1 or 2 drinks now. And
Well, that's it.
That
And it's like,
being
there's
it.
more joy in having a quiet social drink
Totally.
with some people,
Yeah.
as opposed to let's get fucked up.
Yeah.
and like something I've really started enjoying more now is I really like going to gigs sober. I like watching gigs sober.
I've never been to a gig and had alcohol.
Really?
Never.
Oh, I have been blind far too many times at too many shows, and it makes me sad because there's probably a lot of artists that I don't actually remember
Remember
I can miss it. Yeah.
because you're getting blind. But I recently went to Green Day.
Yeah, I know.
They're so good.
Who was supporting it? AFI was supporting it?
AFI and
now
Private
that-
Function.
Yeah. I saw the lineup. I'm like, I should have gone to this.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
But there's a gig coming up that they've announced tickets for that I want to go and see. There was
Who?
the Testament show that they played.
Yeah.
That was late last year.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't go to Knotfest.
Fuck
Right.
no.
Yeah.
That was a shit. That looked like a shit lineup.
Shit lineup.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So
For the
expensive.
day, yeah.
And
So
it's like,
expensive.
I don't want to give away my kidney to experience this.
Oh,
crap.
it's not worth
Yeah.
it.
It's just not. No.
But also alcohol's just too expensive. Like at Green Day, Marvel Stadium, I had a singular beer and that was $13.50 and it was mid strength. It wasn't even a full
Yeah.
strength beer.
Red Hot Chili Peppers last year. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was
Oh,
last year.
I'm getting confused. I get like
Yeah.
23,
Look,
24 is a merge, honestly.
Yeah. We're all still dealing with COVID fog.
Mhm.
But the I went there with my brother.
Mm.
I think it was like $15 something for a mid strength.
Ah, right.
Oh, that's extortion.
And I was like, motherfucker, I could go get a decent burger and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, legit.
Yeah.
Like, no.
That's it. Where was Ice Cube? It was like $14.50 for a vodka soda. It was like $30 a round. I was like, man.
Oh, it was
that
so
is-
I was like, I'm just gonna
stupid.
drink beer 'cause
What
I've
is
got
this?
$11.
What is this? The bloody airport?
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
And that's even worse.
That's even worse. Yeah.
It's $18 a pint.
like,
or something.
Oh my god, no! What was it? I think when we went to New Zealand, was it? I spent $45 on a singular round, like 2 beers, $42.
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, it was real
I
hard.
nearly had a heart attack when I paid for it. I was,
Was that at the airport?
yes,
Yeah.
That shit's supposed to be tax free. What
Right?
the fuck are we paying for?
yeah, wild, absolutely wild. But yeah, I'm just thoroughly
You may as well
enjoying.
hit duty free and just get a bottle of Jimmy's. Or
Yeah.
something, you know?
I think also going to gigs sober, it's just so much easier driving or like knowing that you have that
You've got
capability to drive.
options
Yeah,
on how to get there and get
Yeah.
home.
yeah,
And this is like something that I learned, particularly doing festivals and stuff.
yeah.
I never drove to the when I worked them, I did. Like when I used to do Soundwave and stuff
Yeah.
like that, I would drive
Mm.
because they'd give me a parking spot, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Yep, thank you." And then I'd meet up with friends and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, we're fucked up. Can you get me home?" I'm like, "Yeah, come with me."
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
But like, yeah, because I've never I made a point. The only thing I drank when I particularly went to festivals was water.
Yeah,
That was it.
and even that's extortion.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I brought my own,
Oh, okay.
so
I had to buy a bottle of water at Green Day, $6.50
yeah, that's
for a
ridiculous.
bottle of water. What?
So emptied the water bottle at the start.
Yeah.
So the bottle was empty, and then I just go to the filling points and fill it
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
throughout the day.
I did that at Ice Cube as well
It's
because
the only way to do it. It's just ridiculous. It's insane what we're expected to pay when we go to these gigs.
I know,
You're
right?
already paying $200 for the gig.
So you're
anyway.
paying what, $200 for a
$200 for general
ticket?
entry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're sitting in the stands and stuff like that, you're looking at these $300, $400, $500.
Yeah.
yeah, because they've added all these extras on top of it. So like,
we've got administration fees.
yeah, and then you got the VIP stuff. And the VIP stuff gets you VIP access to merch, and then merch is a whole nother bloody kettle of fish.
So-
Like, merch is crazy expensive now.
So one of my secret pleasures is I follow the Formula One
Mm.
Why aren't you there today?
because it's sold out.
Look at that. Yeah.
Is it actuals?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm really not into that.
Would they even be driving today?
Yeah.
Oh.
Race starts in half an hour.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
For reference, we're filming at like 2:30 on on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
But but I was looking. So where I work, because I work in South Bank, they've got like the paddock merch tents and stuff.
Oh
set
yeah,
up
of course,
down on the
near
road.
near Crown and
Crown,
all the rest of
yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I walk through there every day. Do you know how much they were asking for a shirt?
Is it bare minimum like 120, 120? No.
$450
For a shirt.
for a shirt.
What it Oh wait, isn't Louis Vuitton like the sponsor?
Louis Vuitton sponsoring the race, but they're not sponsoring merch.
Wowee.
What's it made of? Gold?
No, it's teams trying to make a buck off the fans. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
For
But
People
What?
Pay it, though. People pay it.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
if you jump on their websites, you see the prices, right?
Stop it. I'm going to do that right now. I need to see this for my
Surely there's
own
like a bloody,
eyes.
like-
There's cheaper shirts and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like from last year in the previous
souvenir
year.
shop up the road.
What?
Yeah, if you go for current modern, like,
Yeah.
that's how much it costs, $300, $400. Yeah.
You know how there's like always that guy outside the gigs selling half price t-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we've all been there.
Yeah. That was like Snoop Dogg. It was like $75 a shirt. We walked outside. The guy was like 2 for $40 or something.
We were like,
done.
yes.
Yeah. So, but like that's it. So, and then the pricing and stuff like that, because also for the MotoGP and stuff like that, it's not much better.
Yeah.
But it's just insane.
Far out.
Would it be teamwear?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I was looking at Red Bull because that's my team.
Okay.
Go Max. I hope he wins today.
Yeah, wow.
What?
See what I'm saying?
That's madness.
Yeah.
That's madness. Even like a cap, $95
Yeah.
for a hat.
Yeah.
What?
No way.
I know.
$330 for a jacket.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But, you know, I guess that's just what's happening with everything. Like, everything's going up in price now.
Well, yeah. Rent, food,
Okay,
team merch.
Yeah.
let's circle back to the rent thing for like the share house stories.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like how crazy rent was back then, because Maz
Prepare
and
to get
I,
depressed, everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Think about it.
Maz and I don't know why our mates actually let us get away with this. So when we moved into each other's bedroom, we had just split our rent for the three bedrooms. And I think it was like $630 a month per room. Maz and I were splitting that.
I'm paying double that.
Maz and I were paying $315 a month.
Month.
A month.
I'm paying $435 a week here.
430.
Or I mean, I think ours
Do that
is.
for a full bedroom.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's look, getting in and out of the suburb in the morning.
Yeah.
True.
Particularly with traffic the way that it
Yeah.
was on Friday.
Yeah. Not worth it.
No.
Far out.
Yeah.
What are we? 500.
Mm,
500 a week.
yeah, I think,
Yeah.
or just under
under.
500 a week.
499 or 497.
$499.99.
Yeah.
Stupid. Yeah, I
Yeah.
pay $9.99
You pay
Awesome.
$9.99.
Yeah.
and then pay
because we still pay separate.
Yeah.
We don't.
True.
We don't have joint bank account.
Yeah.
Is that by choice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Fair.
Yes.
Look, and this is something that I like from a relationship standpoint. Everyone has their own way of dealing with financial stuff, and the thing is, like, that is subjective, and that is okay.
Oh, we've got another thing that we do separately, and that's probably, people have always given us shit about this.
Okay.
Controversial topic. We still do our own laundry. Like, we don't combine laundry. I do my laundry, he does his laundry.
So there's no conflict over lost socks.
No, there's no conflict over him ruining my clothes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I got.
I
work
reflect on how I
clothes.
do laundry.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would just throw all my shit in the wash and then ruin things, and I would get upset. So,
What about frequency?
what do you
Is
mean?
frequency an issue? How often he washes his stuff versus how often you wash your
No,
stuff?
we're like,
Nah, I'm pretty good.
we're both pretty
usually-
like on
yeah.
par.
Because that's often a common issue. that I
Mine's
see.
quicker though. I'm done. I'm in and out. She's
Yeah.
Like, for 2 days, fucking piling stuff.
Well, it's because I separate my things. You
So can I
don't.
use the washing
No,
machine,
No.
like,
The
real
guy
quick?
mentality is dirty in the wash.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no.
That's it.
There's no. Oh, this needs to be washed with this.
Yeah.
And this needs to be. No, there's none of that.
Oh
It's
no!
just,
See,
oh, dirty,
Chuck
dirty,
it in.
dirty.
The only thing I wash separately is my work stuff. But apart from that,
Is that because it's nasty?
that's it has got concrete
Yeah.
dust, concrete mud and shit on it.
no. I
I'm in
don't.
and out.
I don't want you touching. I'm quite happy for us to continue this into our married life. I mean, like, I fold our clothes because, like, when they're all dried and all the rest of it, it usually all ends up in one basket anyway. So I always end up just folding his crap anyway.
Yeah. This is like how you get less arguments. Like we don't argue about money because we have separate bank accounts.
Yeah.
As long as shit's paid,
Yeah.
everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we trialed it in the early days, in our early 20s.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that's like, we had a lot of arguments about money back then.
Yeah, and it was
It's
also, and it was also like we felt weird about wanting to purchase things for ourselves.
Yeah.
That's where we were like, okay, maybe we need to have a shared account,
Well,
but still have our own money.
thing is, like, when you guys eventually do go down the road of buying a house,
Yeah.
obviously you've set up a shared account for mortgage stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and
totally.
bills and whatnot. But then, why can't you have your own account so that you
Yeah.
both
I think
get
that's
paid into?
I think that's healthy to have that. I think you should have like a set account, like you said, for mortgage, or like paying rent and bills and groceries and like just general living things that
an emergency fund.
yeah that you need to this is what you use throughout your week or your month or whatever to live
This
off.
is what I used to go buy my naughty treats.
Yeah, that's
yeah no
Or I come home with my new toys. Yeah.
Yeah.
with your account you can do that to an extent.
What do you mean?
I like there's a limitation
No more
there.
fucking
Why is
boats.
there a limitation?
Because no more big
No,
things on the
no more boats.
driveway.
Jet skis, Maz.
Well, that's, look,
Mim needs a jet ski in her life.
we are trying
She'd
to
be
sell the
happier
boat.
if she had a jet ski in her life.
Yeah.
Would I though?
Yeah.
I
Well, I was
don't
actually
know.
meant to sell the boat to buy a camping trailer, but I ended up buying a camping trailer.
I was going to say, you've got a camping trailer in front of your house already. I've seen it. I
Yes.
drove past your house every Friday.
Yes.
But
Yes.
so now when I sell the boat, can buy a jet ski.
Yeah. Or you can incorporate the jet ski aspect into the camping trailer.
Ooh. Well, yeah, because it does have a tow.
Oh, I
hitch on the back of
cannot
it.
leave you
Yeah.
two alone together.
I
I
actually was
forget
gonna
about
get a
this.
motorbike rack
No.
because there's like a tow bar on the back of the trailer as well. So I was going to get the dirt bike and then put that on the.
You know what, Maz? You don't need a full-size dirt bike.
Yeah.
I'll show you with the dirt bike that I have in there.
Yeah.
Oh my
Little
god.
pocket rocket.
Well,
Pee-wee
mine's
50.
a 160cc.
Yeah.
It's been bought out, has a race tune on it, and it's got twin exhausts on it. This thing has more compression than my bloody four-wheel drive.
Nah, you guys
You want
lost
a
me.
boat?
You lost me now. You lost me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this off the pod.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Off the
God,
podcast.
that's a bit of stiffy.
Ew. No. Not on the
Oh,
podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, so
We sort of talked about share houses, but we didn't really get into the nitty
we
gritty of
spoke
it.
more about you guys, which is
I
kind of
know.
interesting. I kind of like that.
yeah.
We did talk about a lot about
like
us.
us.
Because
not about share
the myth of Mim and Maz
Mm.
is something that is not well known,
No.
except for some certain people in certain circumstances, but no one knows the full story.
No one does know the full story.
Well, now we do.
That's part of it.
Partial.
That's
Yeah.
part of it. That's the origins of us anyway. It's the origins of how we got together and how we have stayed together all this time. So.
Yeah, but it's interesting looking at that process because if there's one word that you can use to summarize that is unique,
we are very unique.
and it is very individualized in the sense that how many other people would you know could go from a share house experience? meaning
Oh
some-
no, none. And I think we're also.
I could think of nothing worse.
Yeah.
I think for us though, we're just lucky in the sense that we did have a lot of similarities. Like we had both just traveled Europe and stuff around the same
Subtle flex
time.
again.
Yeah. We'd just both done some big traveling, like solo. And we both came from like small coastal towns, small-ish. I mean, Wollongong's probably not that much. It's not that small now.
pretty big.
It's pretty big.
It
But
is relatively well developed. They actually have
Yes.
a military section out there now. They've got a big military area.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had very like similar upbringings and we had a lot of similarities. So I think that definitely helped
Yeah.
in the early days. Oh, Hunter. Is he snoring?
No, that's him just like...
He's like, that's enough talking,
That's
guys.
that's a grumpy old
Yeah.
dog, that one.
That's his, yeah, it's time to tap out of this. But yeah, it's been real. I think we should wrap this up because
Yeah, I think that we've definitely opened it up. We can always come back for a round 2. It's not
totally.
like Maz hasn't made himself exclusively unavailable for these.
Yeah.
No, I'll just drag him.
Round 2 of Larry Lurgan.
Shout out if you want merch for
Maybe.
Larry Lurkin shirt.
Larry Lurkin. We can make it happen.
Larry Lurk merch.
Get that on a stubby cooler.
Yeah, that's it.
But you guys should definitely give our socials a follow.
Yeah, so I've set up, so we're on YouTube, we've got Insta, and we're also on Spotify. So,
Yay.
yeah, we've got avenues.
We've got all the things, so hopefully you can keep tuning into our little segments whenever we decide to.
Yeah, whenever we get around to recording them,
Yeah.
there's no schedule at this point. Maybe if it takes off and people actually like it, then we'll organise something a bit more concrete. But for now, it's you get it when you get it. Deal with it.
Yeah.
The afterwork.
Yeah. But if you've got anything that you feel
Clue.
like you want us to bring up or have a discussion about, or you've just got some questions or whatever, shoot them through on the Instagram
Shoot it
DMs.
through on Insta. Leave a comment on YouTube.
Yeah.
Those fun things. Give us a like, a sub,
Tell your friends about us.
share,
That'd
Do
be
th-
wonderful.
and yeah, cool. Well,
It's been real.
it's been nice. I've actually enjoyed this.
Yeah,
Getting to know
me
you guys a
too.
bit more.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Thanks.
Chilling out, relaxing.
Thanks for coming on,
Oh,
Maz.
no
We
worries.
appreciate
Thanks for
ya.
having me.
Yeah, we know how much out of your comfort zone you are, mate. We appreciate that.
Nice of you to bring Lurk and Larry.
Bring the lurks in. The lurks and the smirks.
Yeah, we could call our fan base the Lurkers.
There's plenty more stories.
Plenty more.
But
Yeah, Maz is also our social media manager.
that's it.
We
Yeah.
decided it last session. So
Yeah.
yeah,
At Maserati on Instagram. Give me a follow.
yeah.
Oh yeah, chuck your own. Yeah, while
Plug it,
you're at-
Maz.
I'll plug it.
And to be fair, as a plug, his short form content is exemplary.
There's some
Yeah, I got to pump out some more content.
there's some good ones. We didn't even tell the story about the pushing off the
The
stool.
stool. Do you want to close on that?
Oh, the stool. Oh. Yes. I was making some stupid videos way back.
These is 2016, 2017 era.
2017,
Yeah,
'cause
2000.
I was at the Workers Club.
I thought it was funny, but I've seen some videos of people putting different things on record players and stuff. So I thought there's this Kiwi song. I think it's Poye or something.
Was
like
it?
that.
No, I thought it was How Bizarre.
It's something. Yeah.
Something along those lines. I think I still have the video on my social
I
somewhere.
don't even know why I stuck a piece of white bread on our record player.
Buttered white bread.
And like before this meme was like, don't you fucking stick anything on our record player, because I was showing her that was a tortilla.
Yeah.
I found this video of a tortilla spinning on a record player and it was playing
The
The
Mexican
Mexican
hat
hat
dance.
dance?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
and I was like, I'm gonna do the Kiwi version. Put a piece of white bread on there.
And I was like, don't you dare. And little did I know that he had already
He
done
waited for you to
this.
go. No, he waited for you to go to work, and he did
Yeah.
it while you were at work. And then
Yeah.
when he came to work later, you had no idea. Everything
Until
was
we
fine.
knocked off.
Until we
Yeah.
knocked off, you saw the video.
I posted it, yeah.
He posted it on socials and I saw it, and it took me a whole couple of seconds for me to realize that that was in fact our record player. And and instead of being a rational human, 24-year-old me just went, nah,
Full Latina.
Yeah.
and I pushed him off a stool for being an idiot.
So,
And Adam just sat there laughing.
for reference, I was sitting there with Ginger Patrick, aka Big Pat, and yeah, we were just sitting there, and then Mim comes like she wasn't on a subtle walk. She marched into this room. We're all sitting at the bar, the public bar at the Workers Club in Fitzroy. Shout out Workers Club.
Shout out workers.
But they she marched in. Maz was on the stool closest to the corner. She goes, "What the did you?" And then whoosh, Maz is off the stool on his back, looking up like, "Huh?
What the fuck just happened?" Yeah.
And Maz is on his back. I'm just looking at him, just like, "Oh, I don't want to be Maz tonight."
It's not my.
In this instance, he is not getting laid tonight.
That is not. Also, like, I would like to take a moment to say that is not my proudest moment, and that I definitely let. Violent. I'm not violent. I'm not a violent person. I really want to put that out there. I'm just passionate. Just passionate and a bit fiery sometimes, and I'm working on that.
You're Spanish.
Yeah, that's it. It's in my blood.
You
But yeah.
You can't crush that fire. There's no extinguisher for that.
But yes, I pushed Maz off a stool.
Have to, yeah.
But you know what? He never did it again. So
I have to do a repost.
Lessons were learned.
Lessons were learned. Yes, indeed. Anyways, let's bloody wrap that up. That's enough for today. It's been real. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast, our first episode, friends.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, give us a follow. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube. Give us a follow on Insta. Like, comment, do that sort of stuff. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
Thanks so much, friends. Catch us later.